Right, so there is, not really a lot to talk about with the Scarlet Labyrinth, so, let's just start with the immediate thing. Mitsuki is the mage. She is the mage's mage. Like, Asuka has, like, that's sort of like that mixed setup, and Yuki has, you know, really good mobility, even though he's, like, not good at hitting things. Mitsuki does not have any of that. Mitsuki stands there and hits things with her staff, and that's what you get out of her.
I do appreciate that the tooltip that shows up this describing, like, her role and what she does, like, literally starts off with just, Mitsuki is the best, ...
I'm not really sure that I would agree with that sentiment. To be honest, I think it was one of the last dungeons. We talked a little bit how, like, each character kind of breaks the game in a new and different way. Mitsuki, I think, is the first point at which that isn't the case. Like you can see how, like, she's slow, her attacks are really awkward, and she doesn't really have any of the strong points that the other mage-like characters do.
And she's also following up from Shio, who, that's a real tough act to follow, let's be honest.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, let's be fair. Nobody should be expected to be Shio, but it's just, I don't know, Mitsuki doesn't really do it for me. The only thing she has that is legitimately kind of interesting is that instead of having a power attack, she will generate a force field, which allows you to walk through environmental hazards, and also it makes you invincible to the first attack that hits you while it's active.
Okay, I was about to ask about that because we kind of glossed over when the two of them were talking about it in that one big room earlier. So, glad to know that there's someone who's got defensive options, I guess.
Yeah, like, it's not like a problem per se, it's just that really at the end of the day, Mitsuki is just not a good fit for the kind of game that Tokyo Xanadu is. Like, this is a game that rewards aggression, it rewards speed, and Mitsuki is a slow defensive caster.
So, I don't know, is she, like, useful, like, in boss battles, then, or just,
She definitely has her uses, as, you know, as noted, like, in situations like this. Because we are definitely going to see dungeons that have, like, a more active focus on environmental hazards, and she is, without a doubt, very useful there. But I would say that she is usually passively useful, as opposed to being actively useful in the same way that, like, Shio is.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of, like, being forced to use an HM user in Pokemon. Like, sure, they'll get you past, like, that body of water, but now you've just used up one of your move slots for utility and not the actual battles.
although I will say, like, her strengths and weaknesses, like, like, taken out of the equation, I do kind of appreciate just stylistically how, like, just her attacks are effectively, like, the absolute inverse of Asuka's, where, like, Asuka is, like, straight, like, right up in your face, and she uses a sword that, like, shoots magical beams, whereas, like, Mitsuki is standoffish from a distance, and she uses a magical staff that shoots swords out of it.
Okay, yeah, see there, I used it very poorly, but you could see how I blocked the first hit of that tornado by using her power attack. But yeah, also, I guess, something that is kind of cute, yeah, her flying attack is her riding her staff like a broom. But yeah, that's about all there really is to say about Mitsuki. She is, unfortunately, I think, probably the least interesting party member.
That is a little disappointing. I've been the most curious about Mitsuki as a party member for the longest time now. Oh well.
Well, we got one more left after this, so, I don't know, let's see what Tokyo Xanadu does for an encore after we're done with Mitsuki's bullshit.
And it's really hard to maintain your combo when if you go for those side chests, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you have to in that case. Like, that was a switch. That opened the door.
Oh, that was a switch?
Yeah. Anyway, we, did it? Question mark? I like that his immediate reaction is like, oh no, Asuka's not here, what do we do? As if it isn't the exact same thing that you always do, which is beat the shit out of it.
I really want to know what this plan is if the first part of it begins with, defeating the boss? Because I figured that was the end goal.
I think the plan is basically just defeat the boss and hope that it shits Asuka out as it dies, I don't know.
Yeah, so the Abyss Hound is not particularly difficult, as you could probably guess. This is a very, very simple dungeon, all things told. But, it does highlight, again, Mitsuki's kind of weaknesses, because the Abyss Hound likes to jump around a lot, and he likes to send big area of effect attacks out, which Mitsuki is really bad at avoiding.
So basically, only keep Mitsuki out if you're going to attack.
I don't get it when, like, you know, JRPG studios and just, hell, video game, like, designers in general do shit like this about, like, you give a character specifically, like, a debut stage to show their stuff out on, and they specifically, like, almost intentionally set it up so that, yeah, no, they're absolutely goddamn useless in it, so it makes you, like it incentivizes effectively not playing as them anymore. Way to just absolutely, like, ruin any interest anyone might have in a character, just gameplay-wise.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not sure how they could have made this fight, like, incentivize you to use Mitsuki. I guess they could have done something like the plant boss that made, like, big poison pools on the floor that you had to avoid. But otherwise, I really don't know how you make Mitsuki the right choice for a boss fight.
Also, did we just witness Eclipseception there? Like, an eclipse inside an eclipse? And now suddenly that just collapsed the whole thing?
I'm a big fan of this Google Maps screen, which is literally just, like, the menu cropped.
Falcom's gotta make games on the cheap, okay? These things are expensive.
God, could you imagine having to make 2 JPEGs of a map?
Now that's just absurd.
Also, I can't believe they blew a reference to Ariadne's thread on a monster that is somehow not a Minotaur.
Anyway, the dungeon that is at the park, because spoilers, it's another dungeon, is a little more dangerous, so we're gonna take a second and come get some upgrades first. But first, a quick scene with Maya. Or, Mayu, I think is her name.
Gramps dishing out that brutal honesty, like, it's not your fault the girl's an idiot.
And you two, go collect the idiot for me.
I thought she was gonna say it's in the skate park for a second.
You know, that is a pretty fucked up place to put an Eclipse Gate.
As if we haven't been tortured enough already.
God, imagine the dungeon traps that would require you to, like, do kickflips.
Oh no! You really shouldn't be surprised about this, Ko. Like, you've been doing this long enough to just expect gates, at the end of pretty much every question.
Yeah, like, you literally, like, can't go, like, probably, 30 feet in Morimiya at this point without running into an Eclipse Gate? Like, hell, I think there's, like, 4 of them in the park alone at this point, or at least, there have been.
I think this is the second, or it's either the second or the third one.
Probably third, because, like, there was the one with Chiaki, there's this one. So we're up to 2 at least. And I think there might have been a third one in here.
I can't remember a third one. I would not be surprised if there were at least 2 in the skate park, though. Just throwing that out there.
I mean, there's a couple in, like, Brick Alley, too, like,
Yeah, there's at least 2 in Brick Alley.
Yeah, there's the one
One, two. No, I'm sorry, there's 3. There's 3 in Brick Alley.
Yeah, because there's the one behind the cafe, there's the one in front of Sora's apartment, and then there's the one by the athletic shop, so...
Anyway, welcome to space?
Did we just end up in that first Boo Galaxy in Super Mario Galaxy 1?
But yeah, the birdcage theme is a little strong here. Might be overdoing this one a little bit.
Like, I appreciate, yeah, basically everyone's motivation for finding Asuka is like, we're gonna save her, so we can then spend like 20 minutes just yelling at her for being a fucking dumbass.
So does Ko get to use Asuka's soul device here, or...?
Yeah, no, you would think so, because, you know, it certainly looks like it's being set up that way. But no, he's just staring at it and thinking real hard.
Okay, so it's like that bit from Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes where Snake picks up Gray Fox's sword, like he's gonna use it, and then he just fucking plants it in the ground and tries to kick flip on Rex.